We have a reading for you about somebody who is in a bit of trouble. I think they are in hot water due to some sort of financial situation. I think this is actually saying that we have a bit of a cover up in place or in process, and it's not working out. And somebody has been able to figure out what actually happened. And now there's someone really nervous about it because whoever the investigator is, they have followed the money. They have figured out what actually happened. And so I do feel like there is some risk of a person going to jail or having legal consequences for a decision that they thought they could hide. So let's call on spirit with a little bit of wind chime time or a lot. I hope you're having a wonderful day on this, the last day of April. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box, along with more information on how to get additional shorts and videos as a member. And you can also find my Etsy shop if you are looking for a homemade soy candle from me. And let's dive in. I think we will go with the Spellcasters Tarot. Almost forgot it. Also, keep in mind that if you want a personal reading from me, be aware that I will never ask you if you want a reading in the comments. That's just not my style, okay? You will have to email me if you want a personal reading, and I don't ever use WhatsApp. And my handle is Ms. Carmen with no numbers. There was an impersonator with a 1 at the end. My readings will always be on YouTube for private readings. It'll always have this background and always have this mug. Okay, you guys? All right, let's dive in. What else do we have? Oh yeah, we got legal consequences for shout. I'll be getting that for shout. We have wow. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse, the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, and the Star. So I know that something is missing or something here was taken. A law was broken. Queen of Cups in the reverse. This is someone who is only thinking about themselves. And maybe they felt like if they went elsewhere or if they changed their name or whatever, that things would be okay. But whatever precautions they've taken to not get caught have only made it more likely that they get caught. So we have this Wheel of Fortune and the Star, and this often is about location for me, like GPS. So I feel like we have a way to pinpoint where somebody was based on money that was spent, because it's follow the money, right? Hello, Cav. How you doing? I do general readings for the first 30 to 35 minutes and then do personal questions after that with priority to those who attach those questions to a super chat or donate a membership to someone else. So I would just ask, please don't repeat your question as we are going to be focusing on the general right now. Hey, Tiana, how you doing? Hello, Renee. What's going on? We have the Hermit. There's our investigator. This is the person who's got some sort of lead or some data that makes them pretty confident they're going to be able to solve this mystery or figure out what's going on. Again, it's about the money. Where was this money spent and what was it spent on? Page of Wands. Yeah. Money exchanged hands, and it wasn't for the reasons that they claim, or it wasn't to the person that they think it was. And now those legal consequences they were hoping to avoid are following them. They're going to be caught. We have the Devil and the King of Wands in the reverse. Excuse me. So we have a person who has been living in fear and made a decision regarding how to deal with their circumstances in anger. So, with that King of Wands being in the reverse, we have someone who might not have been thinking very clearly when they made a decision. And whatever that decision was, it is traceable. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Oh, you as well. Hello, B. I hope you're having a good day. What else do we have? We have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, Death in the reverse, and the 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, I think we've got someone here who thought that they could navigate like a post-crime situation secretly, but the money is too easy to follow. This hermit or the investigator is like, no, 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 I know, even though this person, you know, moved money from this account to that account, I know what happens after that. Or I know, even if they change their name, that's their signature. That's how they act, or this is how they spend their money. They're not as smart as they think they are. Not surprised to see the sun. So this is somebody being discovered. You thought you could hide. You thought you would get away with whatever this crime is. But at some point, you're going to have to spend money and then we'll find you. I'm going to turn on the fan. I'll be right back. Oh, please. All right, let's see. We're going to go with the character oracle. Hello, how's it going, Luis? Is that a compliment? What else do we have? We might get the criminal card, which is probably why I reached for this tarot deck or oracle deck, honestly. What else do we have? Yeah, that works. Swindler. I think that aligns with the criminal element, right? Master of deception and hypocrisy. Disguise and conspiracy. So I thought I could mess with the situation, or I thought I could control the situation and then run away and nobody would know that it was me. We have a madman, an embracer of madness, frenzy, chaos, unruly, and possession. So this is likely a person who feels like they have some inherent right to be in control or make the decisions, or they feel entitled. But they're dealing with like their complete opposite as far as this investigator is concerned. Ascetic, seeker of self-restraint, abstinence, purification, and discipline. So we have somebody who is chaotic and unruly, dealing with someone who is disciplined. I would put my money on the person who's disciplined, personally. Hello, Hayden. How are you doing? Athlete, seeker of vitality, exercise, life, strength, and speed. This is also that hermit energy. So, lest you think you need to, I don't know, underestimate or assume that the hermit can't handle the madman, I think they have strength on their side. Maybe also access to information that the swindler does not have. And this is the Fairy Godmother Oracle. Indeed, Hayden. I hope yours is going well. Abandonment and companionship. Okay, so there is a partnership. I don't think this is a romantic partnership. I think this is we worked together because it was convenient or because we both wanted the same outcome, but we also just don't really get along with people. It's kind of what I'm getting from this. And we have someone who, we have the glass slipper, right? Like in Cinderella. Somebody left behind a clue that indicated that they had been working closely with this other criminal or this madman. All right, so since we had that madman card come out, I do believe it would be appropriate to pull one of the cards from Magicians, Madmen, and Martyrs, or Martyrs and Madmen. Yep, I hope that goes well for you, Hayden. Hello, Leia. How are you doing today? Thank you for the tip. Does Ellen think about, or think, Who doesn't have value. Oh, okay. Without value. Does he ever love me? Or did he? Forgive me if my the way I was taught English, I don't mean it to be offensive at all, but if I change your questions, don't get mad at me. Just I'm trying to get to the spirit of it. Is there going to be a reunion or a relationship? I have added that for you. Thank you, Leia. We are at 11 minutes, so it'll probably be about another 20 before I do personal questions. Although I gotta be honest, y'all, I just got done doing a 97-minute reading, so this one will probably be a little bit shorter. Hello, Jamike. Oh, I hope. Well, I'm sending you healing energy, Leia. Hello, Brendan. How are you doing? So we have the Queen of Wands. Oh, it's Lenormand. This must be a magician. Marie Anne Lenormand, which is the same name as these cards, the Lenormands. So I assume there's a connection. And Queen of Wands, where are you? I love this tarot deck. It's quite unusual. All right, Marie Lenormand was a fortune teller who specialized in cartomancy, which is telling the future through the use of a pack of playing cards. During the French Revolution, Marie opened a bookshop in Paris, where she told fortunes for members of the upper class who were in desperate fear for their lives. She became rich and successful by offering people a glimmer of hope for their future. Marie was arrested during the Reign of Terror for associating with aristocrats, but this proved to be a blessing when she met the future Empress Josephine in person. Marie became a friend and close advisor to Josephine and followed her into Napoleon's imperial court. After her death in 1843, at the age of 71, her estate was given to her nephew, who accepted the money but burned her occult items. The Queen of Wands is a woman who is friendly, helpful, loving, and honorable. It is a card that symbolizes good business and a desire for money. Marie Lenormand is pictured holding a wand and cards, the tools she used to conjure an excellent life for herself. So this feels to me like the partner. So there's someone here who was in business and another person who ran off with like all the money. And I'm going to pull one more for the madman, the person that did the Queen of Wands wrong. Excuse me. Hello, Vaccinator. How are you doing? I know. Here's the tarot deck name. And I don't pull very many cards from this because I feel like it's so spot on. Usually I just pull one, but I'm going to pull two because we've got two characters I'm trying to learn more about. You're right. There's three. The Hermit and the Knight of Cups. All right, so the Hermit, of course, has already... Did I get snot in my hair? The Hermit has already come through, and that's our investigator, right? The person who's probably representing this Queen of Wands. So I decided to pull three cards. There's someone who's been kind of... the crime happened against this Queen of Wands. This is somebody who had the business or made the money, and the madman has run off with the money. And that would be our Knight of Cups. But we also have the Hermit who is investigating the situation. All right, so let's see. What do we have for the Hermit? We have Edward Kelly. So It kind of looks like maybe he's in a graveyard, right? With that shovel there. Edward Kelly was an Irish alchemist and ritual magician who was born in 1555 and worked closely with fellow occultist and alchemist Dr. John Dee. Kelly claimed to have extraordinary powers, including the ability to communicate with angels and create the Philosopher's Stone. Oh! Kelly and Dee spent their first years together practicing scrying, or staring into reflective surfaces in an attempt to divine the future. They also performed magic rituals to connect with angels. There's evidence they sometimes conducted seances in graveyards to connect with spirits of the dead. While traveling through Europe, they gave demonstrations of their magical talents to monarchs and nobles, something they have in common with Marie Lenormand, mostly in Germanic countries. The two magicians eventually parted ways, and Kelly was arrested. Both were arrested by the Holy Roman Emperor Rudolph II for killing one of his court officials with an alchemical potion. Meow. The hermit embodies the alchemical traditions and the quiet solitude of an occult philosopher, but the divinatory meaning of the card is usually somewhat darker. Treason, deception, corruption. The lantern carried by this figure may be used to illuminate the truth while leaving the magician obscured in shadow. So the reason we have someone investigating this situation, yes, maybe they are part of the legal, like the court system, right? This could be a police officer, this could be a detective, a judge, whatever. But it could also be that this is somebody who has a reason to feel some sort of camaraderie with the Queen of Wands, because this is someone who understands the type of business the Queen of Wands has been involved in. And now we have the Knight of Cups. Oh, there you are. Martin. Ooh, I think I remember this one. Oh, settle? Is that how you say it? No. Ocelotl? It kind of sounds like ocelot, right? But there's an N or an L at the end. I think I remember this one. Martin was a skilled Aztec sorcerer and businessman who predicted the arrival of the Spaniards to Montezuma II. He continued practicing divination and healing during the Spanish occupation and became extremely wealthy with numerous estates of his own. Are you sensing a theme here? So we have people who are predicting the future and making themselves wealthy and other people, or they are helping people in elevated positions in society. Hello, Nausicaa. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Hello, Redbeard. Yes. Hello, Piku. Oh, I'm sending you abundant energy. If anyone's able to send some positive, hopeful energy towards Piku, I definitely appreciate it. Hello, how's it going, Lemonade? Hello, Third Eye. Hello, Cool Girl. Sending you abundant energy. That's fair, George. More so follow the money means figuring out who did the crime, but you know. Hello, Tiana. Hello, Unicorn. Welcome back. Hello, NH. How are you doing? What's up, Third Eye? We behaving today? So, Martin was pressured to convert to Christianity and subsequently told to stop giving prophecies, which were considered a form of heresy. An inquisitor from Spain had him arrested and sentenced to exile in 1537, but the ship he was on disappeared at sea and he was never heard from again. It took the Inquisition over a year to find and inventory Martin's vast fortune in property, gold, and other goods. The Knight of Cups represents a proposition or an intuition. An inuitation? I don't know what that means. Inuitation. I don't know what that is. Do you think they were maybe trying to say initiation? Maybe. It can indicate a friend or ally, but the negative aspect of the card suggests exaggerations, lies, or secrets. Martin Ocelotl was a peaceful healer who built a huge business empire from his work. His prophecies were revered by the Aztec noble class and Spanish common people alike. So we have someone who rises and aligns with more of like, I guess, the richer class after initially being arrested, because all of these people have in common that people didn't really care for what they were doing unless it made them money. And the Hermit is investigating the Martin character, right? The Knight of Cups. Because it appears that this person made a bunch of money in business or partnership with the Queen of Wands and then left. Just dipped. Sadly, I do not have salmon on hand, but it does make me want it for later today. It's probably going to happen. That's true. Because, you know, he was on a ship that disappeared in the 1530s. If a ship disappeared in the 1530s, I feel like that was just a little bit more serious than if they disappeared today. All right, so we have the World, the Ace of Swords in the reverse, the Nine of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. So there is some sort of lie here, a betrayal. And I do feel like this is someone who is stealing money or was setting things up for themselves, even though they were involved in a partnership. This person was being a bit selfish or setting aside things for themselves, maybe because they felt like there was going to be an end to their prosperity, or that there were people that didn't approve of what they were doing. So it's like someone skipped town and took all the money. Yep, skipped town, 8 of Cups, 6 of Swords, traveling. And the 3 of Wands in the reverse, I feel like this is unexpected, right? So maybe even leaving in the middle of the night. And I took everything with me, even though it was partly the Queen of Wands as well. 5 of Wands in the reverse, the Lovers in the reverse, disregarding a partner. 5 of Swords in the reverse, because that's what I need. I know that you view it as me causing problems for you, but that's just like what I had to do in order to get away. This is someone who's just thinking about themselves. This is the madman, right? Whatever I have to do, that's what I'm going to do. Hanged Man in the reverse, and the 10 of Wands in the reverse. So someone refused to update their perspective. They were overwhelmed and felt like the only way to deal with that situation was the way that they did. Third eye, it's because I was pulling cards from this tarot deck, and each of the cards has a real life person and their story, which is kind of fun. So we have the King of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups in the reverse. The Hermit knows enough and maybe even does a little future divination themselves. Because we've got the Queen of Wands and the Hermit on the case. It's like they each have a different type of skill or ability to ascertain the truth. And they're pairing up to understand, why did this Knight of Cups walk away from the Queen of Wands? Where did this person go? Why did they take everything? Hey Leia, it's always at about 30 or 35 minutes in, and we're at a little bit under 25 minutes, so about 10 minutes. Smoked salmon is better. I appreciate that. Can also play the fiddle. We have the Empress in the reverse, the Knight of Swords, and the Magician. The problem is the person who ran away with all the money is not necessarily the one who made it a success. So whatever success was achieved by the combination of this Queen of Wands and the Knight of Cups is not like going to be duplicated or sustainable because this Knight of Cups can't do it on their own. It's like you're in a band and you want to go solo, but people still want you to be in a band, you know? We have someone who's trying to make it work, leaving and being on their own. But the problem is they stole something or they took something that wasn't theirs, right? And this Queen of Wands is like, I don't think so. That was mine. But I don't know why. This is like making me think of The Originals, the TV show. Wasn't the one chick's name like Davinia or something? There's something here about people having different skill sets. And these two were aligned initially, but then we have a betrayal from the Knight of Cups. And so now the Queen of Wands has a new partner, and it's the Hermit. This person betrayed me, and I need help to figure out what is going on and how I can find them. So that's why we have someone who's following the money. With the Ten of Cups, there's a good chance that the first step here is to look at where Martin is from originally, where the Knight of Cups is from originally. And then we might be able to figure out where this person went, because it appears to me that this Knight of Cups person who's the thief, they might be not the best at disappearing. You know, like if you win the lottery, I would advise not telling anybody that you won the lottery except for a lawyer. Literally only a lawyer. Don't assume you can trust anybody if you all of a sudden wake up and you have like $1 billion. And choose your lawyer very carefully. This is someone who I think has made an impulse decision to leave in the middle of the night. They take something that's not theirs because they feel like they need it on their journey, and it has enraged this Queen of Wands. And now the Queen of Wands is like, oh, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna figure out where you went. It's not gonna be good for you when I find you either. This is the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. What else do we have? Thank you for liking and subscribing, by the way. What else? The Seven of Cups, the Queen of Cups in the reverse, which we had at the very beginning. The Wheel of Fortune and the King of Wands in the reverse. Angry partner. I don't like this. We had the King of Wands in the beginning as well. So the Queen of Cups in the reverse is the Knight of Cups. This person could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is the person who stole something, right? And they're literally in a balloon like, ah ha ha ha, I took all of the money. And I'm vanishing in a cloud of smoke, so you have no idea where I'm really going. And the Queen of Wands is also this King of Wands in the reverse. Very angry because you took my money. You took my thing. You took, I don't know, my favorite bicycle. And I'm not here for it. Very angry. This Queen of Wands is probably got a right to be angry because something has been stolen. But they're also mad because it's like, I need to be able to fix this. But the way that I would normally go about fixing this is working with that person who betrayed me. So that's why they end up recruiting this Hermit. Like, okay, if the two of us work together, we can figure out what happened with this Knight of Cups and find the money that that person owes me. At the end of the rainbow. So we've got the Chariot in the reverse, the Five of Swords, and the Lovers. So a new pair, a new team is created with this Hermit and the Queen of Wands, and I do feel like they are quite successful at being able to find where the Knight of Cups has gone and where the treasure is, or the stolen bike. This is the Kipper. Hello, Tango. How are we doing today? Oh, thank you for the sunshine. It's been rainy here and stormy, so we need it. What else? I knew it. Someone's going to jail. I feel like it's this Knight of Cups. They thought they could get away and have no consequences, but we have the adjudication. The Hermit and the Queen of Wands, they're able to figure it out, leveraging their particular set of skills. Shout out to Liam Neeson. Mature woman, distant horizons, and family room. See, I feel like this person made it too easy. Like, oh, I'm going to skip town and steal a bunch of money, and then I'm going to go hide out at my mom's place. Like, no one actually expects to find you at a family member's place because, like, have you seen a movie? Like, I feel like the first thing they say is, like, don't go where the predictable place would be. They're found exactly where people think they're going to be. Oh, you do the reading rainbow sound or song. I like it. We have the child card and occupation. See, this is all related to who actually does the work and who deserves that payout. This Queen of Wands is coming through as innocent or the person who is deserving of that money. And yet our Knight of Cups is the person who was like, I'm going to need it on my travels, so go put that in my pocket real quick. But now they're in trouble. Now they're at risk of going to prison, which is why I chose this particular oracle deck, because it does have a card that says prison on it. We'll see if that comes out. We have the Doctor card, waiting, haughtiness, and constancy. So we had somebody who was trying to rely on a partnership in order to improve their station in life or their security, but they trusted the wrong person. They were hoping this person was trustworthy, but really we have someone who's self-absorbed or entitled. Isn't it funny? This person has a bit of a feather situation here. So that to me indicates some flashiness. Maybe they really like to dress well. Maybe they're extremely good looking. Maybe they're super muscular. But they felt like they could take advantage of the kindness of this Queen of Wands and get away with taking money that wasn't theirs. But then this Queen of Wands recruits the assistance of the Hermit. And as a result, now we have somebody who is regretting what they've done. Now this Knight of Cups is worried that they're going to get caught and there will be consequences. So we have the Lover, the Death card, and the Child. I really hope this is not about a child that is missing, because we've had multiple references to a child. This could be someone took all the money and also took the child. If these two had a child together, don't care for that. We have melancholy and misfortune. The letter M is important. So we have somebody who's trying to figure out how to solve this mystery. And I think they have the ability to, specifically because this Knight of Cups person doesn't know how to hide their expenditures or like has never read like a mystery novel. Use cash? I don't know. They make it easy, and I do feel like they're found. Hello, how's it going, Lee? Hello, Tyrone. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Benjamin. Hello. Did I say hello to Lemonade? I can't remember. I think maybe. We're going to switch to personal questions. And for Leia, we've got, does Elwin see me? I think you were asking if Elwin sees you as without value, right? Does this person value you? Does Elwin value Leia? We have the Four of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the World in the reverse. There is a value placed on your connection or, on you, but it does seem to be very much so, what do you do for me? Justice. It's like, I value you, but only in as far as you can get me what it is that I want. If you disagree with me or you don't, this person is malleable or unreliable. It's like, then the next day I might decide you're not of value to me. I don't like that. So yes, I feel like you've done things for me or made me happy, but if you pressure me or you make things more complicated for me, then I'm going to decide that you're not important. So this person probably has a temper. But of course, Redbeard. Hello, Emergency. How are you doing? Okay, good, Lemonade. Did he ever love Leia? Yes, but guardedly so. 9 of Pentacles and is it 9 of Wands? 9 of Wands. The number 9 is important. This is somebody who keeps a wall around their heart, doesn't let anybody in fully. So this 9 of Pentacles, it's yes, this person loved you, but it's like, I can only love you as much as still allows for me to be able to do what I want. So I don't think this person is good at considering what works for you or what would be better for you. It's all about me all the time. Is there going to be a reunion? Yes. But I feel like this reunion will only make it clear to you that this is not the person you want, or that this person is selfish. Six of Cups, 2 of Wands in the reverse, and the Moon in the reverse. When you reconcile with this person, there is initially like glee or happiness. Like, okay, I knew you were going to eventually realize that you needed to do something to make things better. But this is someone who is self-absorbed. This is someone who thinks about themselves. And there's going to be, I think, pretty quickly a choice or an action from Elwyn that is disregarding of your feelings or shows that he is being manipulative. So your spirit guides, the people who care about you deeply, would rather you keep your energy away from this person. Because this is someone who doesn't deserve what you have to offer. 8 of Swords in the reverse. And if you have to go through reconciliation to be able to see the true nature of this person, then that is what will be allowed to happen. But the call to action here, Leia, is for you to realize that you deserve better than what this person offers. That you deserve someone who isn't always, at the end of the day, angling for a better situation for themselves instead of wanting to work with you or do something nice for you every once in a while. Thank you, Lee. Let me add this to my list. Should I talk to the ex about August vacation? With Sage. 2 weeks. Or go to court. I've added that. Thank you, Lee. Hello, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Ghost of Third Eye. I don't see anything's been deleted, Ghost of Third Eye. I'm not sure what you are referring to. Hello, Gray. Okay, so Leia, I'm encouraging a change in your perspective on the situation, but it may require actually reconciling or reuniting with this person for you to see how they approach things. But you deserve someone who is going to prioritize your emotions and feelings and needs at least close to as often as they do their own. And this seems to be someone who's just focused on their own situation. General need to know for 3 to 4 months. Family and career. Absolutely. Thank you, Priyanka. I have added that for you. Let's see what we've got for Redbeard, shall we? What do we have for Redbeard, please? For Redbeard, what does Redbeard need to know, please? What message do we have for Redbeard? The Tower in the reverse, the Page of Cups in the reverse, the Two of Wands, and the the Four of Cups in the reverse, and the Six of Cups. Someone's got a changed opinion, or they have a new perspective. This is someone who's coming out of a depression or seeing things in a happier light, realizing that there is something that can be done, or feeling empowered to make a change. So there is a curiosity and a new zest for life. And with the Six of Cups, this could be because of a strong emotional connection. It could be a friendship, it could be a family connection, but there's someone here who inspires a hopeful attitude. Three of Wands, Seven of Swords in the reverse. And I feel like this is adding sunshine to your life. I feel like things are improving. With the Seven of Swords and the Moon, you might feel like somebody is hiding something for you, but I'm going to tell you right now, they're incredibly honest. Seven of Swords in reverse, they're not hiding anything from you. So you might have a tendency to feel that somebody is not really that great, like they're too good to be true. And this is saying, nah, I think this person genuinely just wants to be a positive influence. Whether it's platonic or romantic, this is someone who's going to give it to you straight. They're going to be honest. And with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, even if things are unstable or if they feel like they come up short, they're going to be honest with you about it. It's like they'll tell you the list of their problems. Like, here's what's wrong with me. Just being honest. But this is someone who's always looking to learn from a situation and incredibly authentic. So whether it's a friend or a romantic interest, this person is legit. Carmen stamp of approval. All right, let's see what we've got for Lee. This is the Witch's Tarot. You're welcome, Redbeard. So for Lee, should Lee talk to the ex about the August vacation with Sage? No. Or go to court? Yes. So there's some volatile energy or unpredictable energy where it's like, I'm reasonable, or you can talk to me and I might actually listen, and then things change and go back to now I'm difficult again. The X is not a consistent energy or does not possess this consistent energy. Every once in a while there's going to be little, I don't know, it's hopeful that maybe there's been some changing or maturing, but then go right back to this kind of betrayal energy. So with the Nine of Cups, this is saying wait until you have a mediator or somebody who is going to make sure that things are done fairly, and keep your plans to yourself until court. Hello, successful trillionaire. How you doing? Third eye, what are you doing? All right. Lee, I wish you luck with that. I do feel like it'll go well, but we can't necessarily count on the ex to be respectful in that situation. All right, let's go with the we're gonna go with the Blood Moon Tarot for Priyanka. I'm glad to hear that, successful trillionaire. I'm a little hungry. I literally just like shoved egg salad in my face for a little bit in between the two readings. Which is like super breakfasty, but I do think I want some salmon because we talked about salmon in the first reading. Yeah, third eye, if you make a comment like that again, trying to guess where I live in Tennessee, I'm gonna be mad at you. Just so we're very clear. I specifically don't put any like specificity on it because there are creeper people out there, so please be respectful of that. Feel like that's something you should get. Hello, Unicorn. How are you doing? So, for Priyanka, we have general need to know. What is it that Priyanka needs to know about the next 3 to 4 months with family? Queen of Dreams, the Moon, and the Knight of Songs, which is the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Dreams or Eight of Swords in the reverse. So there's clarity gained regarding a situation that may have felt a bit cold, distant, emotionless, trying to figure out how somebody really feels about a situation and coming up empty. It's like I could ask you exactly what it is that I want to know, but I know you wouldn't give me a straight answer, right? Hayden's got it right. You're right, Unicorn. I will be dreaming of salmon, but I'm just going to eat some. That's what I'm going to do, okay? So, Priyanka, I feel like even though someone could give you the answer that you seek, your intuition is going to provide that answer. Or you might be a little bit of a detective here, and there's going to be pieces of information that create this picture for you because the moon is being clarified by the sun. So even though someone may lie to you or avoid answering a question, you are going to get the truth. And with the Three of Songs or Three of Cups, I do feel like this is something where it's multiple sources. It's not just one person says, hey, you know that thing that you thought was true? It is. There's multiple things falling into place. What else about family over the next 3 to 4 months, please? We have the King of Dreams, which is the King of Swords, and the Page of Honey or Page of Pentacles in the reverse with Judgment in the reverse. Please be cautious with regards to expenses regarding the home or family life. There's going to be something that is much more expensive than you anticipate. I feel like this could be health related. So make sure people are getting to the doctor. Make sure that you are looking specifically at, I feel like it might have to do with vision or teeth, but we have some some medical issue that I normally don't like to read on, but this is saying you really do need to make sure people are getting to the doctor and anticipating that something might be a little bit more serious than you might think initially. Hello, Fresh. How are you doing? We are doing personal questions right now. If you had a pressing matter that you would like me to pull cards for, you can add that question to a super chat. Although I will be signing off probably pretty soon because I'm super hungry, guys. What do we have as far as career for Priyanka, please, over the next 3 to 4 months? We have Justice and the Four of Dreams or Four of Swords in the reverse. Interesting, because at first I was like, wait, is it in the reverse? Because homie's like face up here. But the Four of Swords apparently has someone kind of like they're going through the transformation from caterpillar to butterfly. So there's a change happening within this work situation. And with the Emperor in the reverse, this change takes power away from somebody who had felt very powerful. So because of changes in the market or a new new competitor or a new perhaps law requirement, we have somebody who felt really confident and in control no longer having that control. So you have to be ready for some change. Rules that might have been very much so counted on for years might go out the window. We have Death, Ace of Skins or Ace of Wands in the reverse, and the Three of Honey or Three of Pentacles. I do feel like this is going to potentially put someone out of business. This could be a partner, right? A very important vendor or a very important like marketing arm of this company. But there is a significant change that puts at risk the company or the industry where you are. So you have to be prepared to look at other options or figure out what would make sense for you if things were to change drastically. But with the Ace of Dreams or Ace of Swords, I do feel like you're going to be very honest with yourself. You're going to see the writing on the wall. Sorry, Fresh. I hope you're having a good day, though. See, I like the live chat specifically because then I can interact with the folks that are watching my channel. It's much more interesting. Don't worry, Third Eye. That's going to come back and be a thing again. I just saw, I was in, well, I'm not going to say which big box store, but I was in a store and I saw like a new version of the Razor and it's flippable, but like a big screen. It's interesting. We'll see. Maybe it's a good one. Maybe not. I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. I'm going to go eat some salmon. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for checking out my